Alright, what's up guys? We got our new project vehicle. It's a 1994 Honda Acty street two-wheel drive with the powerful 660cc mid-engine. It's my new, hopefully daily. Project number one, we'll be putting seatbelts in the back. A lot of people just do the lap belt. My wife has determined that is not adequate, so we are going to do a standard 3-point belt. And what I'm about to do is obviously make a video of my process. This is all going to be ad-lib, so I'm kind of have a plan, and I'm just going to go with it. I haven't started it yet, other than making a couple pieces. But let's get in there and talk about what we're going to do. Alright, so first up we got our C-pillar. What we'll be doing is making an L bracket that goes from the bottom of the C-pillar down onto the floor. I'll be making a small fish plate, up in this area here for the upper mount, and then another fish plate right here in the center for the buckle. I'm using some 3/16 inch steel. We'll be drilling a hole, welding a nut onto the inside, and then insetting the fish plate into that area there, and on the same on the other spots. And then I will be doing nut zerts into the panels to attach the fish plates. I don't want to weld if I can avoid it. Some of this is pretty thin, so I'm hoping 4 mounting bolts per fish plate will be more than adequate using the nut zerts. But yeah, let's get to it. First thing I've done is cut out some material for the L brackets and the center fish plate. I got these seat belts on Summit Racing. I'll put the link down in the thing. They're sold singly, so obviously I bought 2. With the L bracket, we'll be mounting it like this. And then the lower buckle I will attach to the bottom portion of that L bracket like that. Of course, we'll have to figure out where all the cutting and stuff's going to be, because I don't want to cut into a body seam. I want to be on the inside of the seams. There's a cross member that runs along the middle of the floor here, so we have to be cognizant of that. Excuse me. See how thin this material is up here. I don't know if you can catch the deflection on camera, but just with my thumb I can bend it in pretty good. So let's get to making our parts. So I've already cut these out. I did 4.5 by 3. The 3 will be on the floor, the 4.5 will go up the C-pillar, and just beveled the edges in. And then I'll get this all nice, ready to go. Made 2 of those. You've seen the center post. Go ahead and cut the bevels into that. Of course, I'm out of material to do the top portions, so we'll have to see what I got floating around here. I do have a big chunk of 3/16, so I might have to cut some off of that. That'll probably be what I wind up doing. I don't think I have too many scraps. Anyway. Alright. Now I have a press brake, which I rarely get to use because I always forget about it, so that's how I'll be bending my L brackets. Normally I would just clamp it in the vise there and bang it over with the hammer. But hey, I bought the tool and I never use it because I always forget about it, and this time I remembered. So let's go ahead and get the tool all set up and we'll get back at you. So I actually got this press brake from a retailer on eBay. At least I'm pretty sure. One of these days I'm going to do the air over. Of course I keep saying that, and it's been, I don't know, 10 years maybe. We went a little too far. It's alright. We can tap that out on the vise, or maybe just press it down like that. We'll get to that bridge here shortly. Working the other one. A little less wild, but alright, let's see what we can do. Got a little angle finder here. Of course, these cheap ones aren't super accurate. That's as good as I'm gonna get that. Alright, let's go test these in the van. Alright, I think that's gonna work. Nice. Alright, so I'm happy with those. Kind of laid out where we're going to put the holes. I'm kind of have to make a compromise here, so I got two of the mounting bolts, and then on the outside of that's going to be the lap belt bolt. Mostly because I don't want to interfere with the head of a bolt trying to get this thing around it, because it would impact it and start chewing up on the webbing. So let's drill some holes in this first, and then well, I'll just do marking holes here, that way I can center where I'm going to put the nut zerts, and then we'll drill them to size. But I can go ahead and drill these to size now.
How are you? Well, you know, it's just... What happens is, well, I'm directly ordering people and Darcy for carelessness about Baruchtian cultural taboos, but if Aldrin was so good, why didn't he warn Darcy? What was he doing there? He couldn't sense that much hostility.
Alright, let's mark some stuff up. Give a deal. Alright, well, here we go. Let's find out what's in here. Okay, I'll leave it there. Tear down the... Got something a little harder there. That wood. I don't know if that's body filler or wood, but at least that one's gonna go through 2 layers of metal. You know, I might actually okay, 2 layers of metal there. 2 layers of metal there. So that's definitely something I didn't even think about, because I'm dumb. The spot goes straight through the back. So, with any luck, I can just get a bolt to come through there, and the head will sit on the outside. This one right here is in kind of the crease, so I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, plenty of space on that one, and plenty there, so I think we'll be okay. I'm going to stick that through, see if I can open the door up without any issue. Oh yeah, okay. So at least for that one, we're definitely going to be okay. The problem I have here is the drill came out right here in this crease. So maybe I'll relocate that bolt over a little bit. We're going to use all 3/8 hardware. Let's go drill this hole on the drill press, and we'll be right back. The scary part, punching big ass holes in my new van. Alright, So I'm starting to think I'm going to forego doing the nut zerts, because I think I can get a regular nut up in here, and I would rather do a regular nut than the nut zert. Unfortunately, up here is not going to be much of an option. I was hoping to do a 4, but it's just going to be a 1 and a 2 up top. So let's press forward. Let's get this off of here. And then, yep, get this guy drilled in. Just losing it. Alright, back to the drill press. Okay, I'm kind of playing a mid-play audible here. So instead of drilling down into the floor to accommodate the nut that I was planning on welding on the back of the plate, I've decided to cut the head of the bolt off and then recess it a little bit into plate, and then I'll weld it from the back side. Trying to minimize the number of holes I wind up punching in my van here, because I would rather do that than have a bunch of holes in my van. Alright, so let's get this, put 2 nuts on there, kind of stand it up off. Kind of do that a bunch more times. Of course, I didn't buy enough bolts, so I'll wind up having to go back to the hardware store before I can actually finish. Nothing I like more than having to drive to a store to buy 2 bolts. Alright, so here's the bolt head, or bolt body rather, recessed a little bit into this plate, and we're just going to do a nice heavy button weld there, and then grind it flat. Okay, that should be good. Alright, there we are. Got plenty of heat down up in there. And then we'll just grind that flush once it cools down. Okay. Alright, there's that one. Now we let it cool down. Alright, let's ground down that button weld. Alright. Never said I was a painter. Alright. So we've got this bolted down. 2 on the bottom, 2 on the sides, like I said. I'll final mount everything with some Loctite, but for now we're just kind of seeing how it's gonna go. So all right, I'll started on the buckle plate here, and yeah, we'll see what happens after that. I'm interested to see what'll happen with this, because I have to contend with the battery tray, which I have a bulkhead that ends right here, and then in here there's the in the engine compartment there's the other bulkhead here, so I'm pretty sure that the frame is going to be right there. Unfortunately, with the frame piece, I'll have to do the nut certs on this, so that's going to change. Well, it won't change anything really, but yeah, so we'll set those down in there. Alright, so alright, so mark those 4. Of course, these only have to be 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, holes in the floor obviously have to be bigger. And then we'll get the center marked for the stud. Well, I'll do the same. This is a longer than the other ones because it's going to be double stacking the belts. But we'll do the same weld. Alright, so back to this, another weld.
Different approaches. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that Barclays.
Alright, we gotta let that cool down and then uh-oh, starting to rain again. Don't worry, it's completely nerve-wracking. Drilling blind holes. Alright, let's get these. And we had one layer on that one. We're gonna drill this one hole just a little bit bigger. I might do them all one size up. Alright, I kind of went ahead and did the first one off camera. So I made a fish plate here that is a little over 3.5 inches tall, and then I did the button weld for the center post. These are actually 1/2 by 20 grade 8, and then I did the button welds for my 2 3/8 through bolts, and then on the back side I have a nut and washer, and the nut I get 1 extra thread out, and the nut and washer clears the back side of the door, so everything clears, which is super nice. The one thing I was super worried about, this is actually 2 pieces of metal, the outer and the inner. There's a space there, maybe, I don't know, 4 millimeters or so. So this is going through 2 pieces of metal, and it actually doesn't deflect anymore. So I think that's going to be very strong, or at least as strong as I can possibly get it, considering what it's being made on. So, like I said, get a little blue Loctite on there, and we're gonna go ahead and, so to determine the height that I wanted, I brought my wife out here, sat her in the seat, and we found a comfortable location as far as not digging into your neck if there's a hard stop or anything like that. So. There's kind of a bummer. The latch doesn't quite close. I'll get to that later. I might just drill a relief hole so the screw can poke out. Although I do have about 3 threads exposed, I might be able to cut it down a little bit more. But honestly, I think the hole will probably be the best idea there. So, anyway, put the thread locker on the 2 bottom ones down here, and we'll call this side complete. And then I'll show making the fish plate for the other side, the driver's side. Alright, so to duplicate what I did to this upper one, I've already made my plate. So what I did have to do is I did offset the 2 mounting bolts because the outside of the frame is so small to get those nuts and the washers to just fit. And then to have this as wide as I wanted it, because I'm cutting a 1/2 inch hole through it. So they're offset slightly, and then the large bolt is dead in the center. So let's get all that done up, and we'll start drilling some holes, doing some more welding. Alright, I've laid it out. There we go. So we'll drill all three of these, and then the stud for the belt will be out that way, and then the two studs for the mount will come out that side. Okay. All right. Well, gonna get to welding all that stuff. The one thing I did change for the hinge, I got these shouldered bolts. I'm still cutting the heads off, but this gives us a little room for it to have some swivel. All right, that one bolted down. Oops. Obviously I'll have to cut the carpet to clear the bolts, rather the belts. That's obviously no big deal.
Real quick edit here. I realized I didn't show the plate for the upper mount. So I did a really crappy drawing in paint to kind of give you an idea. So the plate was around about 3 inches by roughly an inch. The two mounting bolts to attach the plate to the body are 3/8 that are the heads were cut off. 3/8 bolts. I cut the heads off-centered them, and then did that button weld, and then excuse me, I flipped the plate over and welded the 1/2 inch by 20 in the center of the plate for the seatbelt stud, and then obviously through the body, and then washered and nutted on the backside for the mounting of it. Sorry about the crappy picture. Sorry I didn't give you a good showing of the actual part, but hopefully this helps.
Ready for my close-up, apparently.
Can I do one too? I want to be in there with you. I want to be in there with you.
There we go.
I want to be in there with you.
Not right now. There's lots of sharp things. So, of course, if I'm in the back, my collarbone right here is broken, but yeah, pretty good.
Can I do one now? I want to do one this time. Like, give me like that one. Please.
hold on. There we go. Seatbelts installed. Nice. Well, I hope you guys found this at least somewhat helpful. Obviously, I'm not going to provide you with specifications or even tell you that you should do this, because
Can I do one
you
now?
are modifying and adding a safety device that normally would need to be tested to be certified. So
What's that, Sarah? What?
do with the information as you will. Get yourself some seat belts, nice 3-pointers, and you know, don't feel so bad about having your kids in the back seat. You guys have a good one.